Zach Greinke in a Brewers uniform, ready to make his first start at Miller Park. Fans have waited 142 days since the trade for this moment. It happens tonight. A rainy Monday in Milwaukee, and home sweet home turns into dome sweet dome here tonight as the Brewers and the Padres are ready to go at it, first of three, and there is the man of the hour. Many have been waiting for this moment the entire offseason, is Zach Greinke, former Cy Young Award winner, just 2 seasons ago, ready to make his Milwaukee debut here tonight. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park. Great to have you with us. Brian Anderson here. We'll hear from Bill Schroeder in just a little bit. Well, certainly a 2-8 road trip is no way to get Zach Greinke on the mound in the home whites for the first time. But he is a guy that the Brewers are anxious to see tonight. I know many of you fans are anxious to see him as well. The big question will be his emotions, because he will be at home in front of the big crowd. The guy who is in charge of that is pitching coach Rick Kranitz, and here are his thoughts on containing Zach Greinke tonight.
There wasn't a big crowd in Atlanta the night he pitched, and I'm sure it's going to be packed tonight, and there's going to be a lot of fans that are hooting and hollering and can't wait to see him. So, yeah, I'm sure that he's going to have to control his emotions a little bit. But, you know, he's a professional. He's been there before. He's been in a lot of big games. So, you know, heck, he's a Cy Young Award winner. He's used to some pressure. So I think it's going to be good for him.
Well, it is round 2, another debut for Zach Greinke. Bill Schroeder and I will break him down when we continue Fox Sports Wisconsin. Sports Wisconsin is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Triple Hops Brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. By AT&T. And brought to you by Toyota, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Brewers and the Toyota territory at Miller Park. Nothing like spring in the Midwest, is there? Well, it's great inside Miller Park. You see Zach Greinke putting the finishing touches on his warm-ups. The big trade in December. Yuniesky Betancourt coming over as well. 4 players sent to the Kansas City Royals. And we welcome you back from Miller Park. Brian Anderson now joined by Bill Schroeder. And this is the most anticipated start, I think, since CC Sabathia in 2008. Tell us about Zach Greinke, what he's going through now, and what we saw of him in his first start.
I don't think he's really too much concerned about any of this pressure that I think everybody's putting on him. You know, he don't think he has to deal with the consequences of the big trade and the injury in spring training and the big crowds and things like that. Greinke is a very focused young man, a very good athlete. It was kind of a mulligan start for him in Atlanta. He made some pretty good pitches. He made some bad pitches, and that's what you would expect from a guy that hasn't really been on the mound a whole lot since last year. So I'll tell you one thing, Greinke has the advantage of facing a team that really has not swung the bat all that well. You can see Nick Hundley only at 263. He leads the Padres in batting average. He's on the disabled list. So there hasn't been a whole lot going on offensively for the Padres, although their pitching has been very good.
Yeah, their pitching's good, and they send up one of their aces tonight in Matt Latos. He'll match up against Zach Greinke. Baseball coming up next. The Zach Attack at Miller Park for the first time. Lineups, first pitch, coming your way on Fox Sports Wisconsin. For 6 months of the calendar, 162 games in 183 days. Over 1,400 innings played. You don't remember every pitch, every out, or even every hit. In baseball, you don't even remember games. You remember moments. Tonight at Miller Park, Brewers fans are ready for this moment to become a memory. And there is Zach Greinke leading his team onto the field for the first time at Miller Park. A broken rib just before games began in spring training in February. Made one start for the Brewers on the road trip in Atlanta, and now he is in the home whites for the first time as Greinke is ready to go to work. He'll face Will Venable to start it for San Diego. And with flash bulbs popping, Greinke deals strike one, and away we go. Zach took the loss against Atlanta, and he'll be given around 100 pitches, we were told. Hey, nice catch over there by the ball girl. That's how you do it. There's the home plate umpire, Laz Diaz, Scott Berry, John Hirschbeck, and Wally Bell on the bases. Hirschbeck is the crew chief. And a quick 0-2 count on Will Venable. Now, Rob Greinke showed a good fastball in his first start. I think having just 90 pitches as a limit had a little bit to do with his mentality on the mound against Atlanta, and it was a 30-plus pitch first inning that really did him in that game.
Well, the defense didn't help him out a whole lot in that first inning. That pitch count would have been a lot lower had the Brewers been able to play some good D behind him. But it wasn't a bad outing for his first outing of the year. And you would have liked him to have won the ball game, but hey, it's a mulligan start, and you're going to see a little bit different Zach Greinke here tonight.
Just 27 years of age. The Brewers have him under contract for this year and next. And he strikes out Will Venable. That's the way to get it started.
Well, he will pound the strike zone with that heavy sinking fastball right on the outside corner. And Laz Diaz rings him up. Good command right out of the gates here tonight.
Well, it has been a week for the pitcher last week. We'll see if it carries over to this week. So many near no hitters. The Brewers involved in more than they'd like to count. And had a no hitter from Justin Verlander. That one's in the air, foul territory. Fielder with room, 2 outs. All right, you've seen Will Venable and Jason Bartlett. Let's give you the rest of the starting lineup for Buddy Black and the San Diego Padres. It's brought to you by Piggly Wiggly. Venable, Bartlett, and Ludwig at the top. Headley, Hopp, and Maben in the middle of the order, with Eric Patterson, Rob Johnson, and Matt Latos rounding it out. And the starting 9 against Greinke. His career numbers: 2009 was his Cy Young Award year, a 16-game winner that season.
And still a 4.17 earned run average. Not that bad in the American League. A 10-14 record.
Strike one to Ryan Ludwig.
Well, you can already tell that it's a different Zach Greinke tonight than it was back in Atlanta. Much better command. Throwing those pitches right on the corners. And he threw his first curveball.
And you have to put it in a little context as well. You know, if it is a regular spring training scenario and Ron Renicky doesn't have that option, this would be his 5th spring training start as he puts that one right by Ludwig. And it's 1-2. You know, normally guys get 5, 6 spring training starts to come back. Greinke, while he made 2 starts this spring, that was with the fractured rib. Had to be completely shut down and then restarted. Fans want a strikeout. And they get it. That's the kind of start they've been waiting for. Greinke, 1, 2, 3. 2 strikeouts. Brewers coming up. No score as the Brewers are ready to hit for the first time. Zach Greinke retires the side in order with a couple of strikeouts, and now Ron Roenicke anxious to get his bats going here tonight. Hopefully Miller Park will provide the venue. Piggly Wiggly batting order for Roenicke. It's Weeks, Gomez, and Braun, Fielder, McGee, and Betancourt, and then Corey Hart, Jonathan Lucroy, and Zach Greinke rounding it out. Against one of San Diego's best hurlers. The numbers don't quite show it. An 0-4 record, but Matt Latos is one of their prized prospects who burst onto the scene last year.
Yeah, he's got good stuff. He really does. He predominantly pitches away, but he's off to a slow start. 0-4, a 455 earned run average, but that is deceiving. He started out slow, just like he did last year.
Latos, just 23 years of age. This will be his 6th start of the year, and only his 47th career start, as Ricky Weeks a big swing and a miss. And certainly Latos is keyed up for this matchup. Pitchers, while they don't necessarily face each other, you know, in the National League the pitchers hit, but the competition of the matchup could play big as Weeks goes deep into right center field. Back is Maben, and he's got it at the wall. Ricky Weeks almost sending one out of here. One away. Here's how the Padres line up defensively. Ludwig, Maben, and Venable. The infield is Chase Headley, Jason Bartlett, Eric Patterson, and Brad Hawk. And Rob Johnson does the catching tonight. 23-year-old Matt Latos. And there is Bud Black. And you have two managers in this series that know each other very well. They were on the same coaching staff with the Angels under Mike Scioscia. And Bud Black was one of the 3 or 4 on a short list that highly recommended Ron Roenicke for this job when he was called upon.
That was a good run for the Padres last year. Right down to the end, they kind of ran out of gas, and their pitching carried them. Not a bad guy to mentor both managers in this ball game, Mike Scioscia.
Gomez into left. Back is Ludwig, and it's off the wall. Gomez around second, now on his way to third. Ludwig has trouble with it, and he'll make it easily, or not so easily.
Well, he just slid because he wanted to. It's the only way he could slow down as fast as he's going.
But he got ejected off third base. So Carlos Gomez easily into third base, not so easily on the bag as he bangs one off the wall and left.
Yeah, breaking ball inside, and a couple of near misses. Ludwig can't find the baseball. Kind of looking around. That's all it took for Gomez to get in third base. Look at Go-Go.
Gomez safe at third, safe and secure. New York life.
It's like he hit a trampoline.
Second triple for Carlos Gomez. And here is Ryan Braun. The Brewers would love nothing more than to get one on the board quickly here tonight. Something they have desperately lacked on a road trip that across 10 games resulted in only 17 runs. Greinke impressive in the first inning. 2 Ks and a quick first inning. Braun's had a slow start to the month of May, but you see his numbers overall still terrific. 307 average, 10 homers. Braun has driven in 23. The National League Player of the Month in the month of April, Ryan Braun.
I don't think anybody thought that Ryan and Prince would be able to continue their pace that they set in April. Looking for somebody else to step it up. That did not happen on the road trip, and hopefully it's going to happen on this homestand. Brewers have a very favorable home schedule the rest of this month. Got to take advantage of it.
As a matter of fact, the Brewers 21 games on the road at this point, just 13 here at home. So they'll even out that part of the schedule on this homestand. As Braun takes one inside, ball forward. Latos walks him on 4 straight. Runners at first and third for Prince Fielder in the first inning. And you see Braun and Fielder 1 and 2 on the ball club to start play today. The Powerball home run leaderboard. Milwaukee overall has hit 32 home runs. That compares to the Padres 21.
Only the Houston Astros have hit fewer home runs. They've only got 18.
A big spot early, a chance for the Brewers to put some runs across the board here. First and third, one out, and Latos misses again. 5 consecutive balls.
Yeah, Brewers are due for a big fly. They haven't hit a home run since the game one of the doubleheader in Atlanta.
That sounds like a call.
They're due.
And a check on Braun. Last year, Matt Latos was a 14-game winner for the surprising San Diego Padres and finished with a .292 earned run average in 31 starts. Braun takes off. Fielder takes the pitch. Throw to second, not in time. Braun steals second base.
Well, Latos a big guy, and sometimes guys at his size take a while to get rid of the baseball, and Ryan Braun taking off and able to steal the base easily. Already Ron Roenicke trying to be a bit aggressive. Another man into scoring position, you take away the double play possibility.
Stolen base number 5 for Braun. He has not been caught as Fielder takes one inside. 3 balls, no strikes. 7 consecutive out of the strike zone for Latos. Fielder has been good in spots like this. .364 hitter with runners in scoring position. Has 2 out there right now. Green light, and he pops it up. Bartlett will make the play for out number 1. Check that, out number 2 on a 3-0 pitch. A scouting report. It comes from hitting coach Dale Swaim on the 23-year-old Matt Latos.
He's got, anywhere from 93 to 96 mile-an-hour fastball, straight fastball. Big curveball, real hard slider. Pitches away for the most part to right-handers and really mixes it up to left-handers. He'll use all his pitches at any time to left-handers, uses his fastball in and out to left-handers, and he won't give in any fastball count.
Hitting coach Dale Swaim. Now Casey McGee. There's a strike from Latos. Could be a big swing here in this first inning. Fielder up there in a 3-0 count.
Well, he got a good pitch to hit. He just got underneath. It tells you a little bit about the Latos fastball. It comes in on you pretty quick.
And it's quickly 0-2.
Yeah, those are the at-bats and the outs that will drive a hitter crazy. Prince with the count in his favor, 3-0 count. And one thing you remember, 3-0, you want to get a pitcher you can pull, maybe hit out of the ballpark. Prince got caught back in a little bit.
See if McGee can pick him up. No balls, 2 strikes. And it bounces away from Johnson, and Gomez will score. And the Brewers, in fact, get a run here in the first inning. However it comes, it doesn't matter at this point. A wild pitch.
And give Greinke a lead and keep adding on. Here's that big curveball, and that was way in front of home plate. Johnson did a good job getting his chest on it, but he threw it so hard he couldn't keep it close.
Run scores on a wild pitch. Got a triple, a walk, a stolen base, and a wild pitch in this inning. And a ball and 2 strikes on McGee. Casey at .260 to start play today. A couple of home runs. He has driven in 14. It has been a slow start for McGee. Another one in the dirt. And a good block back there by Johnson keeps Braun at third base.
That's why it's so important for McGee and Betancourt and Corey Hart to start heating up. If they don't drive in runs, then the opposition just not going to pitch to Ryan and Prince. Another good block by Johnson. This one stays close enough to hold Brawny at third base.
Now a 2-2 from Latos, and it's high for a ball. 3-2 the count. Latos is an imposing figure on the mound. He is 6'6". Looks like a 7-footer standing on the bump. Breaking ball missed, and McGee is aboard. Good at bat for Casey McGee.
Yeah, he was down in the count 0-2. And Latos, it didn't appear he wanted much to do with Casey McGee throwing a 3-2 curveball. And the breaking pitches really haven't been close. And that one way off the outside corner. Pretty much of a classic delivery. Balances nicely on the back leg. Pushes off the pitching rubber and uses his legs very well.
Darren Balsley, the Padres pitching coach, a quick trip to the mound. Good thing we have the roof tonight. They would have played this game, but it would have been kind of a miserable night at the ballpark.
Been a common theme all spring, hasn't it?
It's true. Ready for some warmer weather. Get the roof open soon enough. So a run is in on a wild pitch. First and third now, and it's Yuniesky Betancourt. First ball swinging, slices it foul and out of play.
Yeah, you heard Dale Swaim's scouting report. He told us that Latos likes to work away. As a matter of fact, he very rarely pitches inside with a fastball to right-handed batters. Just about every one of his fastballs is going to be away. Keep an eye on that. Let's see where Rob Johnson sets up on the fastball. Just about every time for Latos.
Setting up out there again is Johnson. And Betancourt fouls it back. I think that speaks a little bit to the frustration of Dale Swaim, the hitting coach. You know, the scouting reports are there. The Brewers feel like they have an idea at the plate on what they want to do, what the opposition is doing.
Well, especially with this scouting report. I mean, it gives you such an advantage to know that he's not going to come inside on you. And if he does, it's going to be off the plate. He's not going to come in there for strikes too often. You just forget about one side of the plate. It becomes a little bit easier.
Betancourt down 0-2. Fouls another one away. Well, sooner or later it'll turn around. This is a talented lineup. Guys with track records.
Just got to grind it out, you know, get through it. You're right.
Baseball is such a game of averages. And usually the averages speak for themselves. So hopefully much better days to come for the Crew. That one's in the dirt. Skips away. Braun thought about it. He'll hold up.
Yeah, good move.
But McGee will take second base. The second wild pitch of the inning.
That was a good decision by Brawny. If you're not going to be sure you're going to make it, just stay put. Johnson once again able to block a curveball in the dirt. Ryan got a late start, so just stay put.
Well, a base hit will score 2 here. Braun at third, McGee at second. Ball and 2 strikes on Betancourt. Fouls another one off. You can see his approach at the plate. You can tell he's trying to drive one into the gap in right center.
Yep, 94 right on the outside corner. Every fastball that he's thrown in this inning has been on the outside corner to right-handers. He'll come in a little bit on left-handed batters. Yep, outer half.
Count stays at 1-2, and Betancourt fouls it away. That one is headed for the seats. So Uni is staying alive. Latos continues to work the outside corner.
Yeah, just like Dale was saying on the scouting report, right? Everything away.
All 6 pitches in this sequence, courtesy of Fox Tracks. Again with a 1-2. Down in the dirt. He has not been able to throw his curveball for a strike.
just yet.
Now, the one curveball that was hittable ended up off the left field fence by Carlos Gomez.
A 26 pitch inning at this point. 2 men are out. And Betancourt putting up a good battle here. Not quite Craig Counsell-like, but he's on his way.
Yeah, not 13 pitches. That was some kind of an at-bat by Counsell yesterday in the top of the 9th inning. Wow.
Brewers had a chance yesterday in St. Louis. Had a chance to tie it with a hit. Coming up short, dropping 2 out of 3 to the Cardinals. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Betancourt down the right field line. That ball's pretty well hit. Is it going to stay fair? That ball is foul. Good wood from Betancourt, but he slices it foul, and he has made a very happy fan up there. Now remember, Latos was behind fielder 3-0 with runners at the corners. Prince popped up. And now a chance for Betancourt to cash in. Got him. Latos comes with a fastball. Strikes out Betancourt. The Brewers get 1 on a wild pitch. Pitch allows Gomez to score, and Zach Greinke back on the mound. Zach Greinke in Atlanta, 32 pitches in the first inning. Brock mentioned 2 errors in that frame. Took him only 10 to get through the first, and that included a couple of strikeouts. Greinke matches up against Chase Headley. And strike 1 for Greinke. He has thrown a ton of strikes already. 9 of his first 11 pitches in the strike zone. Oh, 0-2 the count. If you're just joining us, Greinke in the first. Good start for Zach today.
Yeah, 10 pitches and he had 2 strikeouts. That's what you call being efficient. Good fastball, putting it where he wants to, and he's threw a couple of breaking pitches.
The 0-2 to Headley. Inside.
One thing you can say about Greinke, amongst many of the accolades that describe him, he's not very predictable. He doesn't paint himself into a particular pattern. He will pitch in and out to both right-handers and left-handers.
There's a line drive caught by Fielder. The shift was on. Fielder covering the hole a bit, and he squeezes one for the out. Headley retired.
Yep, playing back
Now near the outfield grass, there you see Prince. And able to make the leap. Yeah, Ricky Weeks right there too. Good catch by Prince.
And it's Brad Hawpe now, former Colorado Rocky, and the shift continues for Brad Hawpe. A lot of low batting averages for the San Diego Padres coming in.
Yeah, the team leader with only 4 home runs, that's Ryan Ludwig. The guy that leads his team in batting average is on the disabled list, catcher Nick Hundley.
You know, Hundley hitting .263. It's been a slow start for the Padres. Bud Black's club at 14-20, same record as the Brewers. Big swing and a miss. 2-2 the count on Brad Hawpe. Just 1 homer, 6 driven in. You get sluggers like Ludwig and Hawpe, I think it can have a psychological effect. Playing half your games at pitcher-friendly Petco Park.
Yeah, it's tough to hit him out of there.
That one is ripped, a base hit. Hawpe with a single, bangs one right through the shift. Here's the defense for Milwaukee. You got Braun, Gomez, and Hart in the outfield. McGee, Betancourt, Weeks, and Fielder around the horn, with Lucroy doing the catching tonight. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, Brewers defense. Zach Greinke, by the way, is a very good defender. Ron Renicky, who has seen him a lot in the American League, echoing that sentiment, that he moves around well. He's a terrific athlete and helps his own cause from the mound. Cameron Maybin with a runner on and 1 away. Maybin's been making some highlight reel catches this past week.
Yeah, they like Maybin. I mean, he runs well. He's very athletic in the outfield. He can steal some bases for you. But like a lot of these Padre hitters off to a slow start. You would figure a guy like Maybin, you know, when he starts getting it going, a little bit more experience, be up higher in the batting order.
And a spinner missed a little high, according to Laz Diaz. Fox Tracks liked it. Maybin now with his 3rd organization. He was part of that Dontrelle Willis trade with Detroit and Florida. There's a strike. 2-2. Maybin's been 3 years with the Marlins. And now in his first year as a Padre. Swing and a miss. Greinke strikes him out, his 3rd punch out.
Yeah, it took a little bit off, a little wrinkle in that pitch. A slider that didn't do a whole lot, but Maybin with the big swing with 2 strikes comes up empty. Well, you love the delivery of Zach Greinke. Very compact, is able to repeat that delivery relatively easily, and that's why he's been able to throw so many strikes throughout his career.
Great command and great stuff. Equals a Cy Young Award winner. There's a strike to Eric Patterson. Patterson at second base. Orlando Hudson, the everyday second baseman for the Padres, but he's injured.
Orlando Hudson with the right hamstring. Nick Hundley out with a right oblique. And the fireballing Joe Thatcher on the disabled list.
Yeah, former Brewer farmhand. Another cut and a miss. Pulled the string on him a little bit. 1-2 the count.
Good changeup, 85 miles an hour. Good movement going away. Wow. Got good arm action on that changeup.
Just got a piece.
Yeah, Greinke, nice balance as he collects himself, and here's a changeup. You see the grip, just chokes the velocity off, throws it like a fastball.
First time Greinke has ever faced the San Diego Padres. Trying to pick up his 4th K, and he does so. Zach Greinke, 4 strikeouts through the first 2 innings. 2 scoreless on the board. 1-0 Milwaukee. Greinke dialed in early in his home debut.
Celebration of Zach Greinke's debut tonight, and Corey Hart, who missed most of April with an oblique strain, got in some early batting practice with hitting coach Dal Swaim today. Dal told me they weren't working on anything major, just trying to get Corey comfortable. And guys, Ron Renicky said today he hopes that happens soon because the club needs Corey Hart's bat to succeed. And Rock, you touched on it earlier, guys down in the order have to succeed in order for Bronny and Prince to be given the pitches that they need to see to succeed at 3 and 4.
Fly ball into shallow center, and Maybin will put it away. And such a big part. This is a lineup, you know, as Ron Renicky had it penciled in spring training, a lineup that 1 through 6 is a tough lineup to get through with the power and the speed, and he certainly needs Hart to come quickly here now that he's starting to accrue some at-bats.
Yep, 30-plus home runs, 100-plus RBIs. That's hard to replace, and you have to get Corey going. And taking the pressure off of Hart, hitting him down in the lineup just a little bit until he gets it going. You know, this has always been a very streaky lineup, but the one thing that you would like to avoid, to have them all going south, you know, at different times. You know, you like to have maybe 2 or 3 guys hot at any given time. It's when they're all streaky in a negative sense at the same time. That's when you run into stretches like they did on that last road trip.
2-0 on Lucroy, and there's strike 1 from Latos. Lucroy has held his own. He missed the first 10 days of the season with a broken pinky finger. 281 average, has a homer and 6 driven in, and a shot back up the middle, base hit just by the outstretched Eric Patterson, and the Brewers with a base runner, and Zach Greinke will come to the plate for the first time at Miller Park.
Ninth batter, the pitcher, number 13, Zach Greinke.
Towels given away tonight, the rally towels for Zach Greinke. Does have a home run in his career, but he's going to be up there to get a bunt down, try to advance Lucroy. Greinke has been swinging the bat regularly. Even before his minor league rehab starts, he was taking some cuts, and the starting pitchers at home take batting practice before the regulars do. And Greinke always enjoys that part of the day, as most of the starting pitchers do.
Yeah, they work on things. I mean, most of their batting practice is dropping down bunts, you know, practicing that fake bunt, and they pull it back and hit the ball on the ground. But at the end, you know, they're allowed to swing for the fences, and Greinke can hit them a good ways. He's got some power.
Might not find out during this at bat, but he definitely has some long range ability for sure. Power both on the mound and at the plate. As Greinke takes a strike, and it's 1-2.
They're facing Matt Latos. His first at bat was against Tim Hudson. A little bit different than facing Marcus Hanel at 3:30.
Greinke just one at bat in his first start. Squaring again, and he pulls it back. Good take. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
How many pitches has Latos thrown in the dirt? And Johnson's been able to get a body on every one of them. Only one of them squirted away, and that allowed Gomez to score. But I guess if you're going to miss with a curveball, you want to miss down in the dirt.
And he still has not been able to throw the curveball for strikes. Greinke swings away, bounces one over the head of Headley, and no play anywhere. Zack Greinke, the old butcher boy play.
That's what we're talking about. They work on that in spring training. Well, the first hit of the year for Greinke. There you go. Able to get on top of a high fastball. That's better than a bunt. Pulls it back, gets it on the ground. That's what you have to do when the infield's moving around. Gets it over to third baseman, and no play over there for Jason Bartlett. Jonathan getting a good jump off the bag, and no play for him.
So Greinke with his first hit as a Milwaukee Brewer, and it's 1st and 2nd now with 1 out. Back to the top of the order in Ricky Weeks. By the way, that is Greinke's first hit since the 09 season, when he was a Royal. Interleague play with Pittsburgh, June of 09, his last hit in the major leagues.
Well, you hope that Greinke is going to be able to handle the bat. He said in spring training that he's a pretty good hitter. We wouldn't know, but hey, you got a base hit. Just adds to a very good hitting starting rotation from Milwaukee. One of the best.
As a matter of fact, Greinke said he thought he was a good hitter until he watched Giovanni Gallardo and Chris Narveson and Randy Wolf take batting practice.
There they all are.
And all 3 swing the bat exceptionally well for pitchers.
That's the starting pitcher's perch up there on the dugout. They got their own special seats.
Position players want to keep it that way. Kind of keeps them in their own little territory, you know. Got to know your parameters. Well, you start to get the sense, Rock, and because of the way the Brewers have swung the bat so poorly, they're just that one hit away from maybe gaining some confidence, breaking things open. But these at bats with runners in scoring position start to take on a new kind of meaning at this point, even though it's just the 2nd inning.
Yeah. Ron Renick's comments, you know, today, you know, based on runners in scoring position, he's not worried so much about the batting average of runners in scoring position. He's more worried about getting runners in scoring position. That's been the issue for the Brewers on this last road trip. He's handled it well, though. It's been that was a very tough road trip mentally for the manager.
Especially a first-year manager. Kept things positive. But he hasn't made excuses, which is always refreshing. 2 on, 1 out, and Weeks with a golden opportunity. Fouls it back. Ricky almost hit one out of here in the first inning. Cameron Maben ran all the way to the wall for a leaping catch. Would not have been over the wall, but certainly would have bounced off the wall.
Maben plays very deep in center field. He doesn't have far to go going back, but he's got a long way to come in. He's way back there in center.
And a bouncing ball toward the hole off the glove of Bartlett. And here comes Lucroy. He will score. 2-0 Brewers. As Ricky Weeks bangs one into left field.
And a good at bat by Ricky, just shortening up just a bit. Latos gave him a curveball. He left it up. A seeing eye base hit off the glove of Bartlett. That slowed it down enough to allow Jonathan Lucroy to score from second base. Going on contact on the ground ball, and Eddie Cedar waves him around. Run number 2 for the Brewers.
Milwaukee already with 4 hits, 3 in this inning, and 3 in a row in this inning. Carlos Gomez now. First and second, still just 1 out. Gomez tripled and scored in the first. And a strike with a fastball. Haven't seen the same velocity from Latos that we saw last year. You know, he was consistently in the mid-90s.
Yeah, he'd get it up to about 97 last year, at least in the middle part of the season.
Hovering in the low 90s, which is still plenty, but just a different kind of pitcher than what the Brewers are used to, at least what we saw a season ago.
Well, 92, 93 is enough when you're able to throw breaking pitches for strikes, which he has not been able to do.
Latos made 1 start against Milwaukee last year, gave up a couple of earned runs in 6 innings. This is his first appearance at Miller Park in his career.
Gave up home runs to Ricky Weeks and Yovani Gallardo. Speaking of good hitting pitchers.
Gomez puts a bat on it in the seats. Hey, a reminder, you can click on the Fan Zone tab on the FoxSportsWisconsin.com homepage. You can win prizes in the new Fox Sports Wisconsin Fan Zone, team merchandise, game tickets, unique fan experiences, tech toys, and more. And if you're not a member, join now. It's fast and free, and it's all at the Fan Zone tab, FoxSportsWisconsin.com. 1-2 to Gomez. First and second. That's Greinke at second, with Weeks at first. And down he goes. Latos hits the bottom of the strike zone for his second out.
Hey, on Sunday, May 22nd against the Rockies, all fans in attendance get a Casey McGee bobblehead courtesy of the Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board. Call 414-902-4000 or visit Brewers.com for tickets.
Two gone, and the sluggers coming up. Ryan Braun with 2 on and 2 out. He walked and stole a base in the first inning. Brewers got a run on a wild pitch in the first. An RBI single from Weeks here in the second. Braun rips one down the line. Nice play, Headley. The long throw in time for the out. Saved a run there. Braun is robbed, and we head to the third.
Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Subway. Try our $5 featured footlong of the month. Subway, where winners eat.
Well, Zach Greinke so far so good. 2 scoreless innings with 4 strikeouts. And we heard from his pitching coach, Rick Kranitz, about his home debut tonight.
What I want to see is just for him to be himself and not to do too much, not to try to overthrow. I thought he overthrew a few pitches last time out. You know, we're still in spring training mode for him. This would be his last spring training start coming into the season. So I want him to stay within himself and locate over stuff.
Rick Kranitz, Brewers pitching coach. And if you're wondering about Zach Greinke and his home debuts over his career and how he'll handle the pressure, he has made a home debut on 6 occasions, right? 6 starts. He is 2-2 with a 0.69 ERA in his first game at home over the last 6 seasons. But this is a little bit different home debut for him. You figure the first one probably had a lot of fanfare to it. Greinke was a huge prospect coming up through the Royals system, and many knew who he was before he arrived. But for the first time, he's doing it in a uniform other than a Royals uniform.
An ERA like that, and he lost 2 games?
Yeah.
Come on.
Exactly.
Wow.
And Kranitz made a good point about Greinke being in his final spring training start, if all things were considered equal. But the broken rib, and Greinke has apologized for that. He apologized to his teammates. He was playing basketball before games began. It was a big blow to the clubhouse in spring training. But remember, at the time, Rock, the thought was he'd miss 2 or 3 starts, not 7.
Right. And Greinke thought he would be ready before he actually made his start in Atlanta. He wanted to only make 2 rehab starts and actually wanted to go down to rehab a bit earlier than he actually did. But you've got to protect a pitcher like Greinke with, you know, the heart that he has and you know, the competitiveness that he has. You got to protect him from himself sometimes, and you got to make sure that that arm's built up enough to get on a big league mound and be able to go 85, 90 pitches. You know, based on how things are going tonight, you know, Rick Kranitz was talking about 100 pitches for Greinke tonight, which is about normal.
He was held to 90 in his last start. That was the pitch count he was going to be held to. Greinke only made 86, and he finished an inning. They didn't want to bring him back out as he picks up another strikeout. Strikes out his mound opponent, Matt Latos, and that is number 5 for Greinke. As part of our Fox Sports Supports Charitable Initiative, we are proud to wear these pens during our 2011 MLB on Fox Sports Wisconsin season to support Stand Up to Cancer and their work to fund groundbreaking research that helps accelerate treatment to patients. And for more information, please visit standup2cancer, the number 2.org/Fox Sports. 2 outs, back to the top of the order, and Will Venable, strike 1. Bud Black has been searching for a leadoff hitter, been searching for anyone at this point. As Venable sends Braun back, he's got it. And a quick inning for Zach Greinke. 3 up and 3 down. He picks up his 5th K.
Executive Vice President in charge of business, Rick Schlesinger. And Rick, one of the great deals in all of pro sports this week, the 5-county, 5-day celebration.
Well, as a tribute to the fans who helped build the ballpark, all residents of the 5 counties in southeastern Wisconsin get half-price tickets to this game, tomorrow's game, Wednesday's game, Saturday's game, and all through the week. So it's a great way to say thank you for all their efforts to help build Miller Park.
And a special day Sunday, it's Military Appreciation Day.
Right, in honor of our armed forces and all the families and all the soldiers, we're giving away free tickets to all members of active units and their families. We're going to have about 15,000 members of the military and their families here on Sunday. So, and we're going to wear special camouflage hats. And it's just a nice tribute to, some men and women who are keeping our country safe.
A great week ahead, Rick. Thanks. We appreciate it.
Sure.
For Bill Schroeder, every day is Military Appreciation Day. Rock has a son and a son-in-law in the armed forces.
Yeah, very proud of both of them. They're both serving our country. And Billy and Perry, keep up the good work.
Yeah, looking forward to Sunday with the camouflage hats, and a great opportunity for us to recognize those who are serving our great armed forces. Prince Fielder on his birthday today. A 3-1 count, 1,000 away. Did you wish Fielder a happy birthday before the game?
I did not. I didn't think Prince would really get a kick out of me saying happy birthday to him.
He's not a big birthday guy.
Not like Mike Vasallo.
Right. He would be the exact opposite. Full count to Fielder. And down he goes. And the frustration mounting for Prince as Latos peels one off on the inside corner to strike him out.
Yeah, he will come inside on left-handers. Not very often to right-handed batters, but lefties he will come inside. He's got pretty good command on that glove side fastball, which means going away to right-handers, inside on left-handers, and that one right at the bottom of the strike zone. Prince thought it was low.
Third strikeout for Latos. And here is Casey McGee. 2-0 Brewers. Milwaukee with a run in the first on a wild pitch. Gomez scored after he tripled with 1 out. And then Ricky Weeks, a 1-out RBI single in the second, scored Lucroy.
I do want to give a birthday shout out to a good friend here in Milwaukee and in Arizona, Paula Heitzer. Her birthday today. Paula and Richard, good friends of ours. I'm not going to say how old she is. Her husband wanted me to tell everybody how old she was, but I'm not doing it.
Just threw him under the bus.
Happy birthday, Paula.
McGee gets under one. Foul territory. Ralph Johnson with room, and he's got it for the second out.
Hey, Brewers fans, don't struggle finding a Father's Day gift this season. Instead, enlist your dad in Brewers Baseball Boot Camp on Sunday, July 17th. Learn about the mission at brewers.com/bootcamp. Speaking of our military, it's not going to be that tough. Military boot camp, but that was a big success last year.
Get you in shape, help you kind of understand, at least in a small way, what Major League Baseball players go through.
Hang out with Jerry Augustine and Gantner, Gorman.
They look like they're just standing around a lot, but having participated in your fantastic Brewers fantasy camp,
right,
it's more than that. Tough on the body, especially for those of us who don't do it every day. I think my hammy is still slightly pulled. And what was that, February?
You still have that bruise on your shoulder?
Yes, I do. The external and internal injuries, not to mention the psychological wounds that we suffer in fantasy camp.
Right.
Big bounce out to Bartlett. Slings one over to first for the out, and Latos at 3-3 down inning with a K.
In the first inning, Carlos Gomez had tripled, scored on a wild pitch to make it 1-0. In the second, Ricky Weeks with a base hit. Jonathan Lucroy steaming around from second to make it 2-0. And Zack Greinke's home debut has been sensational. Zack with 5 strikeouts, giving up just 1 hit thus far.
All right, Mark, thanks. And Greinke coming off an 8-pitch third inning. Just 37 pitches through the first 3 frames. Had a quick first inning as well. And a lot of strikes. Still in single digits in balls at this point. That is just his 10th pitch out of the strike zone.
An 8-pitch inning in the third. That'll keep that pitch count down pretty good. 10-pitch first, 8-pitch third inning.
There's a base hit to right. Jason Bartlett singles to lead off the 4th inning for the San Diego Padres. And it's time for our Carsoup.com email the booth question. Mark in Rockland wants to know, Rock, who was the toughest pitcher you faced in your career? Not what you'd say on the banquet circuit, but legitimately, who was your toughest pitcher?
Well,
you faced?
as far as statistics go, there were a lot of guys that made me look foolish. But I remember one, and we've talked about this guy a number of times, Walt Terrell.
Walt Terrell had your number.
He did.
Do they keep a statistic on times you were made to look foolish?
No, thank goodness.
Now, what was so tough about Walt Terrell?
I had a tough time, recognizing his slider. He had one of those short little sliders that went away and down a little bit. It seemed like every time I took it, it was a strike. And every time I swung at it, it was in the dirt. I think I was 1 for 11. I talked about, Walt Terrell. And I said, I know I struck out a bunch, and Brian Michalogic down in the truck, he was nice enough to come up with the actual statistics. 1 for 11, 1 hit. I was surprised he even had a hit. And 9 strikeouts. How's that?
Yeah, those aren't very good stats.
And who is that asked that question? I appreciate it.
Swing and a miss by Ludwig. Well, Bud Black was contemporary of Bill Schroeder's, and there are the numbers. Against the Padres manager, you had 2 hits.
Yep, he's a left-hander.
400 hitter against Bud Black.
Control pitcher, not many at bats though. But Bud kept the ball down pretty well. Had a good curveball.
A swing and a miss. Ludwig chases one. Greinke strikes him out again. And strikeout number 6 for Zack Greinke.
Well, he's got strikeouts with the fastball. He's got strikeouts with the curveball. Now he's got a strikeout with the slider. That one not even close. That reminds me of the swings that I used to take against Walt Terrell. I was going to say it before you did. Right there. Every time you swing at it, it ends up in the dirt. Every time you take it, it's a strike.
Rock says, I just can't see that slider. Those are tough to see when they're in the dirt.
Say that was a pretty good pitching staff for the Tigers back in those days. Dan Petrie, Jack Morris. I think they had Frank Tanana at that time and Walt Terrell.
Jack Morris is among the biggest of big game pitchers that baseball has ever seen. We see him every now and then in the Twin Cities.
Actually, Tanana was not on the tie. I'm telling you, he was on the Rangers.
Frank Tanana?
Right.
The hard throwing version?
No.
The soft throwing version. That one's hit pretty well. Deep right field. Hart is back. That's over his head. Bounces off the wall. Bartlett is going to try to score. And the throw to the plate. Not a good one. Bartlett scores from first on a double and an RBI by Chase Headley. And the Padres are on the board.
Oh, that ball hit very well by Headley. Almost able to get it out of here right at the base of the wall out there in right field. Yep, fastball that did not hit its spot. Corey Hart has to go back off the base of the fence, and good speed by Bartlett to be able to come around from first base and score. Ball hit well.
So San Diego is on the board for the first time. Even a good throw is unlikely to get Bartlett. And 1 out for Brad Hawpe. Takes a strike from Greinke. Hop's numbers are not very good, but he has been swinging a bat much better lately. Starting to turn his season around. Matter of fact, over his last 10, he's near 300. And he's hit for some power, too, over his last 10 games. Has 5 doubles, has a home run. Can't be fooled by the numbers at this time of year. Sometimes you just never know.
Right. Well, Brad Hopp has always had very good numbers against the Brewers when he was a member of the Colorado Rockies. For the Rockies, he was a right fielder and had one of the better arms in baseball.
On both of their playoff teams in Colorado, World Series team. He was college ball at LSU. 7 years as a Rocky. Last year he was with the Rays. And his first season with San Diego back in the National League. It's amazing how fast it can fade away for a hitter or a pitcher. There were 4 straight years when Brad Hopp was a 20+ home run producer. That one is hit well to right. Hart in his tracks makes the catch. And the Brewers catch a break. Hopp hit it hard. Second out of the inning. And our AT&T trivia tonight. Who are the last 2 closers to win a National League Cy Young Award? Always a good question when you talk about closers. You feel like if they truly opened it up to closers, Mariano Rivera would just win it every year. The closers have the Relief Man award. Nothing has the posh though as a Cy Young Award, and Greinke has one. 2009. Maben takes strike 1. Maben a strikeout victim. He was Greinke's 3rd. Zach with 6 now. 2 hits in the inning though, and the Padres are on the board. He's having a tough time with that slider. 0-2 the count on Cameron Maben. Off the glove of Lucroy. Maben just hangs in there. That's a luck play behind the plate. There's no skill whether you catch one or don't catch one.
Yeah, there's no practicing foul tips. But that pitch by Greinke was a little bit too good. I don't think Greinke wanted that to be a pitch that Maben could get a piece of. He's looking more for a pitch in the dirt and left it up.
Laz Diaz giving Jonathan Lucroy a little extra time to shake off that foul ball. Umpires and catchers, they have this unwritten code. They'll look after each other. That's why you don't see a lot of catchers arguing after called strike 3s when they're at the plate as hitters. We'll do it again. The 0-2 pitch to Maben. And Lucroy out there to block.
Well, first time for Lucroy and Zach Greinke. It was Will Nieves catching Greinke in Atlanta. And remember, Lucroy did not catch in spring training. So all new to both of them here tonight.
Lucroy caught most of Greinke's bullpen sessions in spring training before he was injured, but that doesn't tell you much at this point. Greinke was hardly throwing with any velocity. Maben makes contact. Betancourt got to hurry this throw. It's a good one. And the speedy Maben is cut down. The Padres score. Greinke gives them only 1.
The 13th annual Racing Sausages 5K Run and Walk is July 30th, starting at 9 a.m. Register now at brewers.com and register early. This event is limited to 3,000 participants. A sellout crowd expected. Everyone who runs or walks gets a voucher redeemable for a Terrace Reserve ticket to a select Brewer home game. There are the boys getting ready for the big run on July 30th.
Yeah, absolutely. As Corey Hart sends one deep left center and didn't quite get it. As Ludwig runs it down.
Nah, didn't miss that one by much. Well, it's only a matter of time for Corey Hart. You know, he's got one of those swings that everything has to be in perfect rhythm. That bat's in and out of the strike zone very quickly. That fastball middle in, and he got it down in the trademark just enough to keep it in the ballpark.
That's what a matter of inches on a bat will do, as that one ended up in the glove of Ludwig. More towards the barrel, and Hart with his first home run, but gets the first out. Latos has settled down. He's retired 6 straight now. And Jonathan Lucroy up there. Lucroy singled his last time up, scored the second Brewers run.
Yeah, talking to some of the folks around this Padre ball club, they say that Latos normally gets off to a slow start when he's out there on the mound, and then he seems to settle down a bit.
Lucroy getting jammed a little bit as well, and it's Maben to make the catch. 2 outs.
The Brewers had opportunities to break this baby open in the first and the second. Not able to do it. Hey, the 5-county 5-day promotion is back for residents of Ozaukee, Washington, Waukesha, Racine, and Milwaukee counties. You can purchase half-price tickets on all reserve seats now through the 14th, except for the Miller Lite Beer Pen, all-inclusive areas, and the $1 euchre seats.
Zach Greinke will bat for the second time. He singled his last time up. It was the old Butcher Boy play. He showed bunt with 2 strikes. Pulled the bat back, swung away, bounced one right over the head of Chase Headley at third base. And a single that pushed Lucroy to second, allowed Ricky Weeks to drive in the second run. And a strike to Greinke, a ball and 2 strikes. At the plate in his career, Zach Greinke is now 5 for 26. 5 career hits. And it'll stay that way. Latos strikes him out. Latos has retired 8 in a row. Greinke back to the mound.
At home here in Milwaukee, and tonight's time of the game winner is Three's Company in Merrill. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite Beer Pen tickets to a Brewers home game this year. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Well, Zach Greinke back on the mound. He's ready to start his 5th inning. And to get to know him better, we went to his former pitching coach, former Brewer Bob McClure, about adding layers to his repertoire. Here's what he had to say.
Talked about throwing a changeup because he said he'd never throw a changeup. Then we talked about possibly throwing a 4-seam and a 2-seam, which he said he'd never throw a 2-seam. And then it was the spike curve, which he didn't want to do either. So he got to the point to where he worked on a changeup, made him a better pitcher, ended up winning 13 or 14 games that year. Then we worked on a 4-seam, 2-seam, and a changeup, and then he won the Cy Young. And so now with the spike curveball, who knows what's going to happen? But it's going to help Milwaukee, I'm sure.
That's a lot of pitches that have to keep in the back of your head when you're up there at the plate. So, and he's had pretty good command of all of them. Haven't seen too many 2-seam fastballs. Most of his fastballs today have been the 4-seam variety, the ones that really don't go down and away to a left-handed hitter. It's more the straight fastball, the 4-seamer.
Greinke speaks so highly of Bob McClure and talks about the success that McClure allowed him to have. You got to remember, Greinke led the American League in losses in 2005. He was 5-17 with an ERA near 6 as a 21-year-old in his 2nd year in the big leagues. So, I think it was the lack of success that had Greinke stripped down a little bit with his stuff and with his pitches, and McClure was able to sense the talent, understand the ability and the future, and they started to build from scratch. And he was on his way after that, really beginning of the 07 season, as Greinke strikes out Eric Patterson, and that is strikeout number 7 with 1 out in the 5th. Back to our AT&T trivia question. The question was, who were the last 2 closers to win a National League Cy Young Award? And the answer, Eric Gagne, former Brewer. Mark Davis, a former Brewer.
Right. Davis wasn't around long, but he did have a good year with the Padres. It's amazing Trevor Hoffman never won it.
Closers, I guess over the last 10 years or so, Gagne's year was just so off the charts good that,
what was it, 88 in a row?
Yeah, he was the absolute Cy Young Award winner that year. Gagne was here a year in Milwaukee in 08. But you might win a few at the Barstool if you drop the Mark Davis,
right,
being a former Brewer, even on the Cy Young.
Yep, left-handed closer. Didn't fare so well here in Milwaukee.
Oh, Fielder again pulls one down. Brents with 2 stretch him out catches here tonight.
Yep, one in the hole between first and second, one going down the line, and just a routine play for Prince. You don't see Prince show too much emotion out there, and saving extra bases.
And now Greinke will face the pitcher Latos, hacking away. Latos, a strikeout victim in the 3rd inning. How about that? 65-mile-an-hour breaking ball. That was right out of the Randy Wolf repertoire right there.
A get-me-over curveball, huh? Add that one to the list, Mr. McClure.
And there's the better curveball. You can't say he's not coachable, right? Zach Greinke, he might be unwilling at first, but if you keep pushing, he'll start developing more and more pitches. And that's the athleticism that Rick Kranitz was speaking of, that he can just pretty much do what he wants.
Nothing wrong with that, having a guy that thinks on his own.
From 95 at the high end to 66 with that curveball just a moment ago. We'll have to ask Bob McClure if he broke that one out in Kansas City. I don't remember that on the scouting report.
All right.
Got him. Fastball right by him. Didn't even bother. Greinke with 8 punch-outs through 5 innings. 2-1 Milwaukee. They could use some runs. Brewers coming to bat.
Hey fans, vote for your favorite Brewers for the 2011 All-Star team, and you'll be eligible to win great prizes, including a night in Ryan Braun's suite with a visit from Ryan himself. For details, visit brewers.com/all-star. Vote early, vote often, and most importantly, vote Brewers.
Matt Latos back on the mound for San Diego. He starts his 5th inning of work. He has settled down since a shaky first inning. I think the Brewers probably feel like this one could be 4 or 5-1 at this point. They've had some chances. They've cashed in a couple of times as Weeks sends one deep right center. Maybin running out of room. There it goes. Ricky Weeks with a home run. His 7th of the year, a solo shot to start an inning. And it's 3-1 Milwaukee.
I told you they were due. It just took the 5th inning. Been a while. When was that doubleheader in Atlanta? That was Wednesday, wasn't it?
Yep, last Wednesday.
Game 1, Prince Fielder's home run to tie it up on Wednesday, and then Ricky Weeks, see that ball middle away, as all of Latos' fastballs are. He waits back and drives it out of here. Almost hit one out in the very same spot back in the first inning.
5 games without a home run. 5 games between home runs as Weeks belts number 7. His 11th run batted in. Gomez pops it up. Looks like it'll stay playable for Johnson, and he's got it for the first out. That's the other part about the Brewers and the bottom of their batting order. You remember last year, Weeks, the top mark among leadoff hitters in RBIs. A lot of that had to do with the success of the bottom of the batting order, and really, to be honest, the success of the pitchers getting on base. Weeks hasn't had a lot of runners on base when he has been at the plate, and when you have 7 homers and only 11 RBIs, right, that's a pretty good indication.
And remember, the Brewers were very good last year with their pinch hitting, and a lot of those pinch hits came in that 9 spot. So when you combine pinch hits with pitchers getting on base, I mean, that's a lot of base runners for the top of the order when they come up.
I don't think there's any question Weeks is a run producer. He gets deep into counts. He's good with 2 strikes. He does strike out a lot, but he sees a lot of pitches as well and put him in some pressure spots with men on base. He has a knack. The Brewers, I know, have talked about batting the pitcher in the 8th spot, putting a second leadoff man on the 9 hole. That's something they've done in years past. And while it goes against baseball tradition for the most part, Tony La Russa is really the only one who does it consistently. Something to think about because you have a weapon like Ricky Weeks.
Well, Ricky Weeks really doesn't want to run a whole lot. I mean, he's got good speed, but for whatever reason, Ricky doesn't like to steal too many bases. He'd like to get more of a stolen base threat at the top of the order and allow Ricky to hit more of an RBI spot in the batting order.
Braun slices one into right center. Maybin's got it. Second out of the inning.
For just $16, get one Terrace Reserve ticket to select Wednesday Brewers games and one 2011 adult admission ticket to the Harley-Davidson Museum. Call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com/HD Museum.
2 gone for Fielder. It's a nice birthday card for Prince. He's sitting on 199 career home runs. His next will be number 200. He didn't leave off the extra number.
Nice party hat on Prince.
Yep. Fielder, this one's got a chance. That one's well hit. Ludwig at the wall, and he's got it for the out. Prince a narrow miss. Weeks did not miss. Ricky goes deep, number 7. And the Brewers have a 3-1 lead as we go to the 6th inning. Driving in 2 of the 3 runs, had a single and an RBI in the second and a home run just a moment ago. So it's been since last Wednesday. 5 games between homers for Milwaukee, which is rare for a team that loves the long ball. So Greinke back to work. His pitch count is at 71 right now. He is in great shape to go deep into this game. He's going to be held to a pretty strict 100. And then for his next start, they'll lift the reins on him a little bit and let him basically do what he would normally do. Most pitchers don't go much over 100 pitches anyway.
72, twice as many strikes as pitches out of the strike zone. That's good.
A hot shot, base hit going down the line and to the wall. Venable on his way to second, thinking about third. Now he's on his way. And the throw from Weeks is late. A triple to start the 6th inning for Will Venable.
He got behind 2-0. It hasn't been often that Greinke has been behind in the count. But a 2-0 fastball, doesn't matter how hard it is when a hitter's looking fastball And Will Venable able to get the bat head out and rip it down the right field line.
Venable loves hitting at Miller Park. He has now hit safely in 7 of his last 10 games here, and a batting average well over 300 at Miller Park. Well, that home run is looking big now for Weeks. Gives Greinke a 2-run lead. Jason Bartlett singled and scored in the 4th. Just foul. Bartlett coming over from the Tampa Bay Rays. Came up with the Twins. And with Matt Garza ended up in Tampa Bay. Big part of the Rays' success over the last few years. Bartlett hitting just .218 to start play today. 1 for 2 in this game as Greinke just missed.
Yeah, Bartlett, a very good defender over at shortstop. He's got good hands and a very strong arm. And I mean, you can get away with a defensive specialist at shortstop when everybody else is swinging the bat well. But that's not the case here in San Diego.
Into right, Corey Hart coming in. That's going to fall. A base hit, and a run is in. Didn't hit it hard, but he serves it into right, and it's 3-2 Milwaukee.
And one of the signs of fatigue is starting to pitch behind in the count. Hadn't done much of it, but a 2-0 triple and a 3-1 single, and still nobody out and a run in.
So Bartlett with just his 6th RBI of the season. And now Ryan Ludwig, always a threat at the plate regardless of what the stats look like. Ludwig's hitting under 200, but 4 homers, 15 RBIs. He's been a big time run producer in his career.
He's always had very good opposite field power. Big home run power to right center. A little bit different for Ludwig, not hitting in front of Albert Pujols. Makes a difference, doesn't it?
He was traded to San Diego last year, trying to create a 1-2 punch with Ludwig and Adrian Gonzalez.
A little bit different when you are the guy that they can't allow to beat you, as opposed to being the guy that you have to throw strikes to. Can't tell you how much of a difference that is when you have Albert Pujols behind you and Matt Holliday, and much different lineup here in San Diego.
Rick Kranitz on the phone to the bullpen, trying to get Greinke through 6 innings here. Tying run over at first. Go ahead run at the plate. Greinke has struck out Ludwig twice. 2 of his 8 Ks. It was only 3 years ago that Ludwig was an all-star. Hit 37 home runs, drove in 113 for St. Louis. So a threat at the plate as LaTroy Hawkins starts to get loose. Brewers are looking for a ground ball to turn 2 here. And a swing and a miss.
A good breaking ball from Greinke, 78 miles an hour. That's the curveball. Nice. And nice and quick and sharp.
Bob McClure talking about the spike curveball, the Royals pitching coach who taught Greinke that version of the curveball. Ludwig just got a piece. The spike curveball is it's a curveball you see a lot of guys throw, a lot of power pitchers. Adam Wainwright throws one for the St. Louis Cardinals. See what he has in mind here on a 2-2 count to Ludwig. In the air to center field, playable for Carlos Gomez. And it is out number 1.
Now let's take a look at the pitches in the arsenal for Zack Greinke. Here's the two-seam fastball, a little bit up in the zone, but you can see the late move. And the four-seamer, that's the one that he gets to 95 miles an hour. The slider down and away to a right-handed batter. There's that big, slow curveball. That was the 66-mile-an-hour one. And the changeup. Pulling the string, watch it going away from the left-handed batter.
That is a full toolbox right there.
You know who used to throw that spike curveball and became a Hall of Famer doing it? Don Sutton.
Is that right?
Tough on the fingernail. You got to dig that the index finger nail right into one of the seams. Get a little bit better grip on it.
Bouncing ball. Weeks got a chance here. To second for one. Betancourt's throw. Not in time. Fielder off the bag. First base umpire Scott Berry saying Fielder was off the bag.
Now just trying to cheat a little bit. I mean, Prince trying to pull the foot, maybe trying to convince the umpire that he had the baseball. And that's a trick that first baseman will use when they know it's going to be bang, bang. Yeah, really not hit like you would think you'd have an opportunity for a double play, but a nice turn by Ricky Weeks. Looked like he had his foot on there. Kind of hard to tell on that angle. That Greinke thought it was a double play.
Well, and that is going to mean Greinke will be lifted here. 86 pitches. Or maybe. We'll see. Ron Roenicke is out to have a word with him.
They got Brad Hopp coming up to the plate, and he has hit the ball hard every time up. As a matter of fact, his numbers against Greinke have been very good throughout his career. Was it 3 for 4, 3 for 5?
Yeah, Hopp against Greinke, 2 for 3 coming in with a strikeout. He's 1 for 2 today. And Roenicke just wanted to hear it for himself.
Look in his eyes and convince me, young man, that you want to stay in the game. And apparently he did that.
So Greinke goes to work against Hopp. And there's a strike on the corner. Hopp has hit the ball hard twice tonight against Greinke. Lined out his last time up. A good cut, but Greinke picking up strike 2. 0-2 to Brad Hopp. Fans want to see a K. He's sitting on 8 strikeouts. Could very well be his last hitter. Runner goes, and a strike call. Down goes Hopp. And Greinke strikes out number 9. The lead intact, 3-2 Milwaukee.
Wisconsin Lottery reminding you to please play responsibly. By AirTran, go, there's nothing stopping you. By the Miller Lite Vortex bottle, taste greatness. And by the Philips Norelco SensoTouch 3D. For a great shave, wet or dry, settle the score at greatshavedebate.com.
And in honor of Zach Greinke's start at Miller Park today, FoxSportsWisconsin.com's Mark Concannon, who's with us tonight, a veteran of 24 years in the Milwaukee sports market, identifies 5 of the most highly anticipated home debuts in state history. All you have to do is log on to FoxSportsWisconsin.com and rate them for yourself from 1 to 10 with our star meter. See the numbers on Greinke. A couple of earned runs through 6 innings, 9 strikeouts. And the fact that he is sitting there on the bench might tell you he is coming back out for the 7th. We'll see. Greinke striking out Brad Hawpe, brought him to their feet, stranding the tying run on base. Now the Brewers would like to add to it here. 3-2 Milwaukee. McGee, Betancourt, and Hart against Matt Latos. Latos had a stretch where he retired 8 in a row before Weeks homered in the 5th. Gave up a run in the first on a wild pitch, a Weeks RBI single in the 2nd, and then Ricky homered to start last inning. Easy play for Patterson. McGee retired, first out of the 6th.
And just what we were told by these folks with the Padres, saying that he normally gets off to a slow start and then settles down nicely. When you look at his starts this year, he's really only had the one really bad start. Other than that, he's been pretty good. Just a matter of getting some runs.
Well, he's a pitcher with a lot of expectations on him after the season he had last year. But he's only 23. Started the season on the disabled list. And like a little pull in his side. Over to first, knocked down by Hawpe. Betancourt retired. 2 up, 2 down for Latos in the 6th inning.
Hey fans, do you have a favorite player that works hard and has an aggressive approach to playing the game? Cast your vote for the We Energies High Energy Player of the Year by visiting Brewers.com/WeEnergies. Who do you think would be a good choice at this point? High energy. Carlos Gomez?
I think he's always one of your front runners. He's a high energy guy on the planes, on the buses.
We're not talking about batting leaders and home run leader. We're talking about a guy that has high energy.
Well, he might run away with it. Hard hits this one hard. Deep left center field. That one is going to get to the point out there, and Corey Hart with a double, a ground rule double, squared that one up.
That's the second time he squared one up. Now one to left, now one to center. Corey Hart with a nice short stroke. Standing a little bit taller than he was in his start against the Cardinals. There's a slider. Nice and easy. You can see much better at getting that baseball in a sweet spot than his last time up. And good extension. Nice short stroke, not over swinging.
Well, maybe that'll be the one that gets him going. Hart narrowly missed a home run in the 4th inning. And now a ringing double with 2 outs in scoring position for Lucroy. 3-2 Brewers, bottom of the 6th. Lucroy singled and scored in the 2nd, flew out to center field in the 4th. He's 1 for 2, and his season batting average .288. Lucroy expecting much more offense from himself this year than what we saw a season ago. He's always been known as a hitting catcher throughout the minor leagues, but a guy who takes the craft very seriously behind the plate, and I don't mean others pass that by, but Lucroy is a guy who spends a lot of time with scouting reports, with pitchers, pitching coaches.
Man, he really doesn't have that veteran catcher to help him out.
Down the right field line, that is a base hit, and it'll bring in Corey Hart. Lucroy on his way to second. A double and an RBI, a 2-out hit for Lucroy. 4-2 Milwaukee.
Well, and you're getting a lot more offense, at least early on, out of Jonathan. A nice swing, an inside-out approach, a pitch on the outer half up in the zone. He just slices it down that right field line. So a pair of 2-out doubles get the Brewers back to their 2-run lead. A good at bat by Jonathan.
Well, Bud Black will make the call to the bullpen. Ron Renicky sent Mark Kotsay to the plate, and Bud Black is going to make a pitching change. We'll take a break.
Hey, it was a bad road trip. So get back here and start getting on the right track again, and guys they're ready for it.
Ron Renicky's comments earlier today, and he has a way. I've been impressed the fact that he keeps things in perspective. I know Ron was talking about the schedule today, and he's talking about the pocket schedule, and you open that thing up and you say, okay, we have all of these games left. Don't start grinding yet. Let's just start doing the little things.
Right.
And then we'll take our wins as they come. And hopefully now that Greinke is back and starting to get rolling here and the starting rotation is intact, you hope to see the Brewers start to play up to their standards.
And that pocket schedule, there's a lot of blue dates on that schedule, which means a lot of home games. And Chad Qualls, a sinker baller on, the former Houston Astro. 18th game already for Chad Qualls. He works an awful lot, a 250 earned run average. He has given up the one home run.
So Greinke is out as Kotsay was announced, forcing Bud Black to make the pitching change. And Kotsay unable to check his swing. Wally Bell raises the thumb on him. Kotsay started the last two games in the outfield, made a great catch in Gallardo's gem on Saturday. 250 hitter this season. That skips away from Johnson. And Lucroy to third. Another wild pitch in this game. That's the third wild pitch for Padre pitching tonight.
Johnson tried to backhand that one. It's one of the few times that he hasn't tried to get in front of one. He's more like a hockey goalie back there tonight than a catcher. A lot of pitches in the dirt. One more of those and another run.
See Kotsay's numbers. 1 for 3. Limited matchups with Qualls. Qualls has mostly been in the National League. Rock mentioned he came up with Houston. Spent a couple of years in Arizona. He was traded last year, Arizona to Tampa Bay. Now in his first year as a Padre. Kotsay, a little cue shot over to Bartlett. And the inning is over, but a 2-out rally for Milwaukee. A Hart double, a Lucroy RBI.
Top 7, our Toyota game summary. Carlos Gomez scoring the first run of the game with a wild pitch after his triple in the first to make it 1-zip. Ricky Weeks with a base hit. Jonathan Lucroy racing it from second. It was 2-0. Weeks with a homer right center in the fifth. His 7th. The Brewers first in 5 games, 3-1. Then Lucroy in the 6th with a double to score Corey Hart. Brewers up 4-2. And Zach Greinke's debut. Flashes of greatness. 9 strikeouts through 6 innings. Gave up 2 runs on 5 hits, hoping for his first win as a Brewer. Guys to get it will have to turn it over to the bullpen.
And the bullpen will have to pick up the final 3 innings. Greinke is out. No walks and 9 strikeouts. And Zach Greinke impressive in his home debut. You know he had to be amped up today, Rock. And no walks today tells you a lot about how he has controlled his emotions. Yeah, Jimmy John's delivery of the game.
Yeah, much better command. I mean, he was able to put most of his pitches where he wanted to. I think maybe a little bit of fatigue set in that 6th inning. Started to get behind a little bit. Didn't get to 100 pitches, but still in all, I think a much better outing than he had back in Atlanta. And if he continues to improve, he's going to be a good one.
So LaTroy Hawkins, first man out of the bullpen. He has the 7th inning. Bottom of the order coming up for San Diego. You see the numbers for Hawkins. Shoulder surgery last year. And took him a while to get back. He did not make the opening day roster on the disabled list, but back in the flow now. 6 games in the big leagues. This is now his 7th in the final year of his 2-year contract. A 4-2 Milwaukee lead.
Yeah, Hawkins allowed a run in his first outing this year and has not allowed a run since. Scored upon in 5 appearances. He's been much better. Better command of his fastball, keeping it downstairs.
Still not the Hawkins velocity that we saw when he was an Astro, but that's good enough. A spinner for a swinging strike. Good slider from Hawkins, and Maben is gone.
Yep, just continues to pound the strike zone. When you're working ahead, you get hitters to swing a little bit off the plate, but I think that might have been a called strike. Good slider, well located.
Eric Patterson takes a strike. Patterson and Casey McGee have been jawing friendly throughout this game. They came up together in the Cubs minor league system. Eric is the younger brother of Corey Patterson, who is also a Chicago Cub. And at one point, Eric Patterson considered a much better prospect than Casey McGee. Hard to even imagine now, huh? Casey's had so much success, driving in over 100 runs last year. Patterson just bounced around a lot.
Yeah, I think they're both glad to be out of the Chicago organization. I know Casey would not be getting the playing time over in Chicago with Aramis Ramirez over there. Of course, you talked to Lou Piniella before he retired. He was very sad to see Casey go.
That's right.
Of course, he said that after he had about 80 RBIs.
Right. Only in hindsight did he say that. Where was he in the meetings prior to? The 0-2 pitch, and Patterson slaps one of the seats. Hope everybody's all right up there.
It won't hurt long.
He's got a smile on his face. Sawed off, fouls it away. Patterson came up as an outfielder. He's played a little bit of infield. He's a versatile guy, infield, outfielder. He's filling in for Orlando Hudson here with the Padres. Hudson on the disabled list, got a hamstring problem. Another 0-2 from Hawkins. He lays off the breaking ball.
Yeah, LaTroy Hawkins in his heyday when he was with the Minnesota Twins, he couldn't decide whether he was going to be a starting pitcher or a reliever. He closed out some games with the Cubs. It was more of a fastball, upper 90s, high fastball, curveball pitcher. Not throw as many curveballs these days. It's more fastball slider for LaTroy, able to throw more strikes with the slider than the curveball.
And it takes a little bit of pressure off the lack of velocity. Hawkins was a high ball pitcher, if you will. Used the curveball, the high fastball. Puts one right by him there, 92 miles an hour. And a strikeout. Eric Patterson has punched out 3 times tonight. Miller Lite, what's on tap? We're back on the air tomorrow at 6:30 for Brewers Live. Second game against the Padres. The finale on Wednesday, not televised. You can catch that on the Brewers radio network. And then the Pirates come to town Friday. Thursday is a team off day. So a homestand with the Padres and the Pirates. And the Brewers are hoping to make up ground lost. 2 outs. Here's Rob Johnson. Popped him up. Fielder wants it. And a good 7th inning for Hawkins. 3 up and 3 down. Top of the order coming up. 4-2 Milwaukee.
Weeks set to lead off the bottom of the 7th for the Brewers, but Davey and I want to talk about what the bottom of the order has done, collecting 4 hits and helping Zack Greinke and now LaTroy Hawkins to a 4-2 lead.
Oh, my earpiece. Yeah, you know what? The bottom of the order is doing a great job. You look what Jonathan Lucroy, Corey Hart, and then the big play by a bunt, butcher boy by Zack Greinke kept that inning going to let Ricky Weeks drive. That, when you can turn that bottom of that lineup over to get to the top, score some runs.
And that's what they need right now. The butcher boy, as Davey described, going to be our instructional on the field. So, Rock, get ready for that after the ball game.
Oh, nice, a butcher boy. Hey, Craig, by the way, right behind you, there's a sleeping baby. Shh.
Oh.
Okay. We'll be quiet when we leave.
Maybe that's what distracted Davey in his earpiece.
It could be. That's why he had to. Shh.
Hey, let's wake the bats up and keep them going.
Look at that dude, man. He is out like a light. Looks like Rock on the airplane right there. Bouncing ball to short. Tough play. Bartlett's throw dug out by Brad Hawpe. Nicely done.
And Brad Hopps looked good over at first base, as we talked about in his days with the Rockies. He was a right fielder and a very good one at that.
Well, Ricky Weeks in the 5th inning. A home run, his 7th of the year. Powerball home run number 7 for Weeks. A leadoff home run in that 5th inning. Gave the Brewers a 3-1 lead at the time. The Padres would score a run in the 6th inning to make it 3-2. The Brewers added one in the bottom of the 6th. That was the Hart 2-out double. Lucroy drove him in with 2 outs with a double of his own. Gomez now. Strike 1 to Carlos Gomez at the plate, presented by Wendy's. Tripled and scored in the first. 1 for 3. Gomez has his father in town. He was here on the last homestand as well, watching his son play. And he's nervous every time you watch your kid play, no matter what. We had Joe Braun in the booth a couple of homestands ago, Ryan's father. I mean, there's a dad who could relax. I mean, his son just signed a multi-million-dollar multi-year contract.
It's not about that. It's what he's doing up there at the plate, right?
Gomez strikes out. 2 outs. Say weekdays on Fox Sports Wisconsin, it's the Dan Patrick Show. Don't miss exclusive guests, including high-profile athletes and celebrities, breaking sports news and unparalleled insider access and pop culture commentary. The Dan Patrick Show, weekdays at 8 a.m. on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Here is Braun with 2 away. Qualls in his first full inning as Braun rips one to right. Venable is there. And the side retired. 3 up and 3 down. We move to the 8th at Miller Park.
For the Brewers game at Miller Park, Game 2 will be largely cloudy. Temperatures of by first pitch near 62 degrees with a southeasterly wind flow at 8 to 16 miles per hour.
Thank you, Mary. That is a much better forecast than what we saw today, huh? Roof is closed tonight. Some rain, some wind, cool temperatures. We head to the 8th inning from Miller Park. Our Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin text question. Bobby wants to know, why does an umpire take a baseball out of play? Rock?
Normally when a ball is, in the dirt, a catcher has to block a baseball, there's going to get a scuff on it. Or maybe it's going to be not in perfect condition. And hitters don't like that because sometimes pitchers can, manipulate the movement of the baseball if there's a scuff on it.
Defaced.
So hitters like to have those pearls.
Boy, there's a bouncer over the head of McGee and a base hit. And on his way to second goes Denorfia. The tag, the ball pops out. Denorfia safe. Denorfia pinch hitting for Qualls. It's a chopper over the head of McGee, and it's a double to start the 8th inning.
Well, good job by Ryan Braun to get there very quickly. The sinker up in the zone. Every time it seems that Cameron Lowe has problems, it's pitches up in the zone. Doesn't get that downward movement, and Ryan Braun gets there quickly and pretty close at second. Somewhat of a risky move by Denorfia, down by 2 runs.
Close play. And the helmet knocked the ball free. Denorfia a pinch hit double. Cameron Lowe in the game. And a bouncing ball, base hit. Venable to right. And Denorfia will be held around third. Good throw from Hart.
Will Venerable, a dead low ball hitter. And that's exactly where that pitch ended up. Cameron Lowe, when he's at his best, he's got those pitches downstairs, and that's where Venerable likes it. You can get him with the hard stuff up in the zone, but pitches down here, I mean, he's going to get a pretty good swing at. Able to hook it. It was away from him, but able to get the bat head out, hook it into right field.
Well, instant trouble for Cameron Lowe. First and third. The tying run is at first and Venable, who has 2 hits tonight. And now it's Jason Bartlett. The Brewers would gladly concede the run to turn 2 here. Zach Greinke started, went 6. He is in line for the win. But his bullpen is going to have to bring him to the finish line. Cameron Lowe took the loss his last time out. That was in Atlanta. Gave up an 8th inning home run to Martin Prado. It was a 1-1 game at the time. Has yet to give up a run here at Miller Park. Padres threatening in the 8th.
Well, the Padres like to steal bases. It's one thing that they do very well. They lead the National League in steals. And Will Venerable, a pretty good base runner. He's got some speed.
On the ground, back up the middle. Betancourt. Oh my goodness! Did that just happen? Betancourt to Weeks to Fielder. One of the most acrobatic double plays you will ever see.
Put that one on the highlight reel right there. Look at Ron Renicky. Are you kidding me? I thought that was a base hit up the middle. And check this out. A backhand with the glove over to Ricky, who barehands it and gets him at first. Wow. Man. Might be the play of the year right there.
I don't think I've ever seen one better.
That was amazing. And look at Ricky hang in there with Will Venable right on him. And that's not even close at first base. What a play.
A run scores, but the Brewers turn 2 in amazing fashion.
No, they're still buzzing here at the ballpark. That was incredible. And they actually work on that in batting practice. When you see these guys taking ground balls, you think they're hot dogging it, but they're not.
0-2 to Ludwig. Well, you can't let this hitter slip by. As good as that double play was, Ludwig representing the tying run. Well, what a moment. What a defensive moment here at Miller Park. Wow. As Ludwig swings and misses, down he goes. Now they can stand up and cheer. Yuniesky Betancourt and Ricky Weeks stealing the show on this night in Major League Baseball.
Routine. You come to the ballpark on a Monday night, you never know what you're going to see, and you might have seen the best defensive play of the year in all of baseball, getting the Brewers out of a big jam. A run scored on it, but could have been a lot worse. Good presence of mind by Ricky Weeks, waiting for that baseball. He had no idea it was coming at him, and he hangs right in there to get the throw off to Prince Fielder. You've got to be kidding me.
It's great every time you see it. You think at any moment Betancourt said to himself, maybe I should just get the sure out at first base. If he doesn't make that play, a run is in, 2 are on. This game is in serious question, but he did make it, and he brought them to their feet, both Betancourt and Weeks.
And if that throw's not right on the money to Ricky Weeks, I mean, you're open up for a huge inning. And this team is anything but conservative. I mean, they will take some risks, and a lot of times it'll work out, sometimes it won't.
Fielder leads off. New pitcher is Ernesto Frieri. Sixteenth game. This Padres bullpen is very good, especially when they have a late lead.
Yeah, these relievers have a 2.23 earned run average, as opposed to 3.36 for the starting rotation. That was before tonight's game.
The Axeman getting ready. Right now it's a save opportunity, just a 1-run Brewer lead, 4-3. Fielder rips one to the opposite field. That's going to shoot to the wall. And Prince on his way to second with a double. His first hit. He and Braun were a combined 0 for 6 until Fielder's double to start the 8th inning.
And another beautiful piece of hitting by Prince Fielder. Watch his pitch. Away from, it was a strike. Watch the way he goes top down and able to get that backspin on it and hit a line drive bullet to left field. Good start to get that insurance run.
So far tonight, the Brewers have been able to tack on those insurance runs after the Padres have scored. They did it in the 5th inning. After the Padres scored in the 4th, they added one in the bottom of the 6th, answering a Padres score. Runner in scoring position to start the inning is Casey McGee. A big cut at Frieri.
Yeah, Frieri could be tough on right-handed batters with that high sidearm delivery. You got to hang right in there. You can see Casey doing it. Had a good pitch to hit.
A breaking ball on the corner for a strike. 0-2 on McGee. Casey is 0 for 2. He walked in the first inning.
Got to figure out a way to get Prince over to third base here. Anyway, hit the ball to the right side.
Ball and 2 strikes on Casey McGee. He's been good in spots like this season. McGee had a game-winning home run against the Cubs. You see his batting average with runners in scoring position at .314. Two and two. The Brewers leader in RBIs a season ago. McGee also set a franchise record for runs batted in by a third baseman last year. Full count. McGee's walk in the first inning. As you see Betancourt on deck. He was behind 0-2 against Latos to draw the walk.
And he started 0-2 in this at bat.
Fielder a leadoff double at second base. McGee trying to bring him home. Casey drove in 104 last year. 102 of those as a third baseman, setting the franchise mark. In only his second year in the big leagues. And he got him up the ladder with a big fastball. Casey strikes out. Fielder still standing at second base, and here comes Yuniesky Betancourt, and they're already cheering for him. And this is why.
Great fans here in Milwaukee. They appreciate a play when they see it. And that was about as good as it gets.
I'm not sure whose was better, Betancourt's or Weeks. Betancourt knew what he was going to do.
A lot of guys give up. Second baseman figured, okay, he's going to throw to first. But as I mentioned, they work on that in batting practice. You never know what's going to happen with those two out there.
Betancourt a chance to really pull him in his favor. Into left field. Coming in is Ludwig, and he's got it for the out. 2 gone in the inning, and Fielder still at second base. Two gone for Corey Hart. Doubled and scored his last time up, and that run still has the Brewers in the lead. It was a 2-out double by Corey. Lucroy drove him in, the next hitter. As great as that double play was, you know Ron Roenicke will have some conversation with Betancourt and Weeks at some point saying, hey, next time, go ahead and take the out at first. Bouncing ball over to third, Headley. And the side is retired. We head to the 9th inning in a 4-3 Brewer lead, and the Axeman cometh. John Axford, a chance at a save at Miller Park when we come back. Now Ricky Weeks has been a star offensively tonight, part of a great double play. 4-3 Milwaukee as we head to the 9th inning, and it's John Axford. Axford will have the middle of this Padres order. 5 saves for Axford.
Yeah, last save for Axford came almost 2 weeks ago against the Reds. April 26th. It's been a while.
Axford has been pitching a great deal in non-save situations and giving up some runs in the process. A big one here. The Brewers trying to secure a win for Zack Greinke. Trying to get back to winning ways here at home after a 2-8 road trip. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. Headley doubled in a run in the 4th inning. San Diego's cleanup hitter. There's strike 1. Good fastball from Axford. Axford has been good at home. He has struggled on the road. 3 balls and a strike.
Fastball about 95, but having a tough time finding the plate right now. Usually walks are involved when John Axford struggles. And first batter always important with a 1-run lead.
Hitters count for Chase Headley. And that was hit hard to left, but Braun is back and he's got it for the out. A big out, out number 1. And if you're just joining us, you're wondering about Zack Greinke. He was good today in his home debut. Greinke, no walks, 9 strikeouts. Did allow a couple of runs in 6 innings, and he is our Menards player of the game at this point.
Well, good outing and much better than he was his first time out against the Atlanta Braves. Ran the same amount of pitches, but he was able to get through 6 innings. He only pitched 4 in Atlanta.
Brad Hawpe, the batter for San Diego. Hawpe was 1 for 2 off Greinke. Actually 1 for 3 off Greinke. Greinke struck him out with the tying and go-ahead runs in the picture in the 6th inning.
He was able to crowd him inside with a fastball. It was a good pitch.
That was Greinke's last hitter. A shot, base hit. Hawpe slaps one to the opposite field for a single. And the tying run is aboard for San Diego.
How's this guy hitting 185? I mean, he was hitting 185 in that at bat. Look at this swing. That wasn't even a strike. They were able to whistle it into left field. This guy kills Brewers pitching.
And now Axford has to go to work. Cameron Maybin. And again, Axford falls behind. Maybin is hitless. A couple of strikeouts on his card tonight. And a bouncing ball. Weeks to Betancourt. Low throw, and Betancourt gets the out at second base. That was some kind of play by Yuniesky Betancourt.
Now, Ricky Weeks, he needs to just get one at second base. That's what you were talking about right there. Just trying to make the incredible play. There's no way you're going to get a double play with Maybin at the plate. You're best off just taking your time and making a good throw to second base. I think the Brewers got a break on that call at second. And John Hirschbeck, crew chief, saying that after Betancourt knocked it down, he had it in the glove with his foot on the bag.
Now, was it a force or was it a tag? That was the big question. He doesn't have the ball there, but he tags him there.
There you go.
And I think that's a
good call by John Hirschbeck
is
right
saying.
on it. Yeah.
The crew chief. Definitely did not have the foot on the bag when he had the baseball, but Hopp's trying to break him up there, and he actually slid right into the tag for the out.
That's a nice play by Betancourt, I'll tell you. He's been heads up here tonight.
Well, the Brewers very fortunate. Betancourt has made 2 outstanding plays. So 2 gone. Tying run at first, and a home run hitter at the plate. Jorge Cantu pinch hitting. Cantu finished up with the Rangers last year.
Got big time power, big run producer in his career.
3 homers, 12 RBIs for Cantu. (4-3) Milwaukee. The Padres down to their last out. Big weapon at the plate as Axford deals him a strike. 96 miles per hour. It's his best fastball of the night. Cantu hitting just 200, but always a threat. Swing and a miss. A breaking ball from Axford, the slider, and it's 1-2. On the ground to Betancourt. Who else? To Weeks. And that's your ball game. The Milwaukee Brewers win their first game on the homestand. A 4-3 victory for the Brew Crew. Zach Greinke picking up his first win as a Brewer. John Axford with save number 6. And we have much more still to come on this game. Craig Kashan, what do you have coming up for us on Brewers Live?
Well, we're looking forward to a good Brewers Live postgame. Hope to catch up with Zach Greinke, getting his first win as a Milwaukee Brewer. Ricky Weeks, one of the heroes as well. Plus our on-field instructional all on the way. We're going to hear from the manager, Ron Roenicke. The homestand off to a great start with a win here tonight.